Hi, how are you? This is Najib from Israk Solutions Sdn. I'm in front of a very large LED display. The size here is 7.2 meters times 2.88 meters. It's very big, and this is actually used for auditorium. And for your information, LED display, large LED display has become a trend. Not only for auditorium like this, but also for a lobby as well as a control room. So this trend, I would say, because of the advance of the LED display itself, the price is going down and becoming more affordable, and the benefit that it offers. So how do you get started into this LED display? What are the criteria that you need? So in this video, I'm going to explore with you what are the criteria that you need to consider for you to get LED display for your company. So number one, the most important factor is the pitch. Pitch is basically a dot that make up the whole video. So for example, as you can see on the screen, this screen has 3.24 million dot. All right. So the resolutions I have to check here is 2000 something times 1000 something, and the total resolution is 3024 million. So that's a lot of pixel. The pitch is 2.5. So if we were to use a higher pitch, for example pitch 5.0, so obviously the number is less, so the picture quality become less. So the lower the pitch, the more dot you have, so the higher resolution or the better quality of the video that you have. So you maybe heard about 720p, 1080 full HD or 4K. That actually determine how many pixels, how many dot that you have. All right. So the pixel is important, but that doesn't mean that pixel 4 or 5 is always better than 2.5, because you have to look into the distance, the viewing distance. So if you come closer to me, here we propose we are using P2.5. Usually the rule of thumb is you just multiply by 2. So to the viewing distance. Viewing distance is where I'm standing right now. What's the distance, the screen, and the distance where I'm standing right now. So for example, now if the distance is about 5 or 6 meters, this is the front row. Okay, the front row. So when I'm sitting here, I'm standing here, when I'm looking at the screen, I barely can see the pitch or the dot. So that is how you determine the quality, because you don't want to see, you don't want to look at the screen and you can see, you know, a big dot. All right. So here with when using P2.5 and I'm standing 5 meters or 6 meters from the screen, I can appreciate the quality of the video. All right. So that's how we determine 2.5. So but if your display is the location is a bit far from the user, right? For example, 8 meters, then you can use P4. Or maybe you have experience, you have seen a big billboard on the road, you know, the pitch may be pitch 15 or pitch 20, is very big, but you don't see the dot because you are far away inside the car. So that is what the pitch means. Okay. And then secondly is the sizing. The size, as I told you just now, is 7.24 meters. It's very big, times 2.88. Actually, that size it's up to you how big you want. Usually, you want it to be as big as you want for your auditorium. You want it's a big size, big screen, right? But that dimension that I just gave you is not 16 by 9. That is not a very typical. 16 by 9 means when you usually our laptop, our PC is 16 by 9 format. So when we output to the screen, full screen, you have a very nice you know, proportion of the video. But here the format is not 16 by 9. It's actually 2.5, where about 16 by 6. So it's slightly wider than normal. So, but as you can see, maybe it's not very obvious that that bird over there is slightly expanded, right? It's slightly expanded, but it's still acceptable. You know, you don't want it to be too ultra wide, too wide that the bird is just expanded like so big. Okay, you don't want it to be like that. But usually in the auditorium, in the control room, you want it like slightly ultra wide. So that is okay. All right. So ratio 2.5 is still acceptable. Okay. Number 3 is the finishing. All right. The finishing. So as you can see, maybe you can close up to the stage here. As you can see, the screen is somehow embedded or seamless to the wall. Initially, this wall has something else. It used a projector. Okay, it has something else. So we took it out and then we customize it so that the screen look seamless and similar with the surrounding. We're using the finishing. So this is one of the things that you need to consider when doing the LED. You want it to be seamless with the existing interior design. Number 4, the structure. The structure means how we are going to mount the LED display onto the wall. So depending on your building, your stage, you may have a different structure. This cabinet, this whole screen is very heavy. It's quite heavy. So we need a very strong structure. So usually we'll have a aluminum profile, 40 mm by 40 mm, mounted on the wall, or in this case we mount it from the floor all the way to the ceiling. All right. And then we have that's on the vertical, and we also have on the horizontal. So by doing that, we mount the cabinet on the structure. This is more the best way of implementing LED display, because the cabinet is CNC, is very precise, so that when we combine, the display is very seamless. There's no human error, no the picture is just perfect. So we use cabinet and the aluminum structure to mount on the wall. So we don't want it to be, this has to last 10 or 15 years. So it has to be perfect. Okay, that is something you have to consider. Number 6, the power supply. Each cabinet require certain power supply, and the rating of the power supply usually is more than your normal TV. So in this case, we connect directly to the main DB, distribution board, and we create a plug point for a row of cabinet. All right, for all the faces. So we're using the red, yellow, blue faces, so that we distribute all the load to different faces, coming directly to the distribution board. So that is something you have to consider. If your main distribution board is a bit far, so we have to consider where is the path that the cable has to go to create another mini DB. Finally is the control system. So now the big screen is just like one TV, right? So now in a different scenario, for example, the auditorium, you will have multiple input. Okay, there's a control room at the back. Usually you will have a control room at the back. So that's where is the personnel in charge for the operations. They have a laptop, they have a PC, maybe some different input. Maybe you have a camera in here that you want to capture. And then in terms of, that's the input. Then you also have the output, not only the big screen TV, the LED, but you may have multiple display on the left, on the right. So in this case, you have the screen on the stage, facing the stage, because maybe the presenter want to look at the presentation point. Right? There's two facing the stage. There's also one facing down here, because maybe there's a VIP here. don't want to look at the big screen, only want to look at the small screen, that is available also. And the screen on the stage, for example, not necessarily the same as on the screen, because the presenter want to look at his presentation only, whereby on the screen or maybe on the for the live stream you will want to show something else. So that's where you need the control system, you need the metric switcher that to select multiple input, a different input, and how you want to display on the big screen. So basically those are the six criteria that you need. Six criteria that you need when you want to consider deploying your LED. So maybe I summarize. Number one, the pitch is very important depending on the distance. Pitch 2.5 or pitch 3 is suitable enough for auditorium. Okay. Number two is the size. You want as big as possible, but you want to consider the ratio and the resolution, the total resolution that you can have with that size. Number three is the finishing, to match your existing interior design. All right. So it looks perfect. Number four is the structure. You want it to have like a solid, steady structure that lasts a very long time, either mounted on the wall or from the floor to the ceiling. We use aluminum profile or something like that. The power supply is very important to make sure there's no trip or blackout during usage. And you want to distribute the power usage in all the phases, and you create sub dB from your main dB. Alright, and finally is the control system, where you select multiple inputs and choose how you want to show it on the big screen or to the live stream or to the stage. So those are six criteria that you need to consider for you to decide how you want to go about implementing LED display, big LED display in your organizations. So yeah, that's it. If you think this video is useful, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We have this kind of video on the professional audio and video for corporate and government offices. And do visit our website www.israk.my to check out more about our solution and talk to our LED display expert. We have a Digital Signage and others. So till next time, so goodbye, bye.